Hello, my artsy friends. I'm Ken, and this is the Thrifty Review. We are going to be taking a look at Faber Castell 15 watercolor set of crayons. I picked these up, about 2 months ago, I want to say now, from Michael's. This set is $16 at the local at my local Michael's, or at your local Michael's. And it's probably the same price at michaels.com, but I was able to use a 40% coupon that they had on Michael's app to get them, so I did pay less than 16 bucks for them. So they come in this, and this is the Faber Castell student grade set of watercolor crayons, of course. They come in, you know, the typical Faber Castell red logoed box. The artwork on the front is actually really cute, and it kind of immediately puts you in the mindset of, you know, being a kid and coloring with crayons. I mean, because that's exactly what they look like. The colors are listed on the back. Of course, there is no light, fast, or pigment information on the box, and I really wasn't expecting there to be any, considering the fact that it is a student grade product. So just letting you guys take a really good look at the box, and it does come with the free brush in it. All right, so let's take a look inside. And it just has a little on the top, and there we have them. 15 watercolor crayons and a watercolor brush. See if I can get the brush out here and take a look at it. It's just a typical brush. I haven't used it. It's been in there. Of course, it feels synthetic. And with these crayons, synthetic brushes are probably the best thing, no doubt, because it helps to move the pigment more when you're trying to disperse the pigment once you add water to them. Now, let's take a look at one of the sticks. And some of you guys may remember these. This is a set of crayons that I used in the first watercolor crayon tutorial that I put up on the channel. You guys can find that in the video section if you would like to refer back to it. In that particular video, I did this landscape, and it was just a basic landscape where I was showing you guys the different techniques of using the crayon. Of course, with use, I've come to discover that I like using them a lot more in other aspects than trying to, like, say, do a picture or especially landscape. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But I just want you guys to take a look at the sticks. It's basically pigment in a stick form. And it's really solid to the touch. It has the Faber Castell logo on it. And the color is actually printed on the crayon down at the bottom, which is actually really good because typically you're using the crayon from the top and the color will still be visible as you tear the paper down using a crayon. So that's actually a really good thing. And you get the colors here: yellow, ochre, vermilion, red, light blue, cobalt blue, salmon pink, violet, rose pink, yellow green, deep brown, dark gray, black, and white. And I hope I did not hold that up too far for you guys to be able to see. So that's what they look like, and I've shown you the box that they come in. So now let's take a look at some swatches that were done. Here is, okay, let me see if I can zoom out a little bit so you guys will be able to see that. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Okay, so here are swatches that were done with the crayons. Now, let me just go ahead and say I had fun with these, or I've been having fun with these, and they led to me getting other type of crayon media. I've even picked up some distressed crayons as well as some gelatos, but we'll talk about that later on down the line. But for right now, I just have to say that I've had a lot of fun using these. They kind of put you in this freeing state of mind and just let you create and have fun. I mean, you're not really being too serious with them because you realize they're a crayon. However, you can use them for serious things. They're opaque, hands down. There is no transparency to any of the colors. Here, as you can see with the swatches, on the left side of each swatch is where I use the crayon to color in heavy. And then the right side is where I actually added water and drag the pigment out because I wanted to see how it would look in a wash. I mean, the colors are very bright and vibrant and really pretty. Some nice primaries in there. A white and a black, of course, which is always good for a beginner. A violet, which is always good for a beginner. So it's a really decent beginner set. And Faber Castell actually is really good at making their student grade products. Their student grade products are really good, kind of up there with Praying. So I knew when I picked them up that I wasn't going to be picking. I had high expectations, let's say it like that. And I don't think that they let me down. Let's take a look at some of the things that I did with them. I originally was following a tutorial by, of course, my favorite YouTube teacher, Lindsay the Frugal Crafter. I almost botched it up saying it. But, and she was kind of showing her different techniques and the ways that she had become accustomed to using watercolor crayons, period. She wasn't necessarily using Faber Castell, but just she, like, I encourage you to use what you have. So I had the Faber Castell crayon, so I kind of followed along with her tutorial. Now, I'll be honest, as you can see, I didn't really complete it, but I was really just trying to get a gist of what the crayons would do. I mean, I even created the background with the crayons, the grass, the background grass. So they're actually a very versatile product. I mean, the crayon itself, let alone the fact that it's a great crayon made by Faber Castell, in my opinion. So let's take a look at some other things. If you guys remember when I did the watercolor crayon tutorial, we painted that little palm tree, and not that it was the best palm tree, but just look at the pigment and the colors that came from that crayon. And this is when we scribbled it down on a clear palette and painted with a brush from the palette with the crayon. So it was actually really cool. And I've shown you guys this before, but this was a flower that I did where, I don't know, I was just kind of playing around with the crayons, wanting to see what could become, what serious painting, should I say, could become of them. Here is another version of just some doodling and playing around that I was doing where I wanted to see exactly how much pigmentation I could pull from the crayons with by either coloring with them or using a wet brush on them. So I have to say, and I have to admit, you know, that I think that these are a great product. I think that Faber Castell made a great product. I would definitely recommend these. I mean, the cons to having the crayons are that, you know, with them being in crayon form, that they aren't very detailed when you're trying to color with them. Or, I mean, you can't really get very detailed with them. If you use them wet, if your surface is wet already when you use them, then you're definitely going to create hard lines that are going to be more complicated to blend out if you're trying to actually paint with the crayon. Okay, let me grab some watercolor paper and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, I just wanted to grab a piece of paper so that I could kind of show you guys what I mean about using the crayons. And I also wanted to take a second to show you guys. Okay, I'll show you in a second. So, as I was telling you guys, like, the crayons are a great product. They're really solid, but they have a really creamy texture when they go down on paper. And I think that they're really good on watercolor paper because the tooth in the paper helps to grab the pigment. So it really holds on to the pigment. And this is just a really cheap piece of watercolor paper. This is the Artist Loft. But let me put another one down for you guys. Let's try the crimson. But see, it's really creamy, kind of not necessarily buttery, but definitely not nearly as rough as like a watercolor pencil when it goes down. So let me see if I can find a brush here so I can add some water to these. I'll just use this angular brush. This will work for now. So I'm just gonna wet this brush and just kind of add some water to these so you can see how right away that turns into paint. It is absolutely beautiful, and you can drag it out and water it down as much as you may need to. Let's see the crimson. I always say some crimson. And again, and this is cellulose paper, so you know this is like, this is like wood paper. So imagine how that would look on 100% cotton paper. That's gorgeous, and they're really pigmented, and that's really nice. And as you can see, I can go back over that again. And another thing that I love about using these, see, like grabbing it straight from the crayon. I just kind of wet my brush and I'm rubbing it across the top of the crayon, which I really wet that way too much. And you can already see, you can even splatter with it, because as I was doing it, it kind of splattered on the paper a little bit. See there? But yeah, you can just pick straight up from the crayon to paint with. I think that's just absolutely, that's really nice to me. You can just, and it holds, the pigment holds on the brush well for a long time. I can get a lot of strokes out of that. I think that's really nice. Again, once the crayon is wet, you can use it to draw, but that image becomes a little bit more difficult to blend. I mean, you can get it to, but it gives a really nice definition when you do it that way. But I'm just, showing you guys, it's really nice. I really like them, guys. I really do. I wanted to show you guys this. So I think the best use for them are using them in mixed media products. Now, I'm going to show you guys a page in my art journal that I did with the watercolor crayons. And I actually just finished this page up. And in full disclosure, I was shooting a video because I was thinking about starting an art journaling series, because I really kind of gotten into it. And the camera shut down. It was total catastrophe. Maybe it was because it was early on Christmas Day and I shouldn't have been trying to shoot the video, but what have you. But this is the finished product from that video that I was shooting. And I was actually using the watercolor crayons for that. This particular art journaling page, I was trying to concentrate on using watercolor crayons for different effects and different things and different type of layering effects. But I ended up with it being an art journal, mixing other things into it. So I also actually ended up using my Jane Davenport color stick, gel sticks. That's sort of like a gelato, but we'll talk about that later on down the line some other time. But I use those a little bit, and I use some watercolor pencils in it as well. But the basis of it, the background, a lot of the coloring done in the flowers and the stems, the background flowers was all the Faber Castell Watercolor Crayons. So I think, in my opinion, especially with their opaqueness and the fact that you can't really get super, super, super detailed with the crayon itself, well, not unless you're pulling the pigment from the crayon with a brush, that the best use for watercolor crayons are probably in mixed media projects. And although this is not a mixed media paper. This is watercolor paper that this was done on. It was still a mixed media project in mind. So I think, in my opinion, that's the best use form. With that said, do I recommend them? Hands down, no doubt. I think that, and by the way, in regards to that art journaling series I was thinking about adding to the channel, if you guys would be interested in something like that, you know, comment in the section down in the comment section below the video and let me know what you guys think. Is that something you would be interested in seeing me starting a series on, you know, doing art journal pages? I mean, I was actually shooting a video. I wasn't sure if I was going to put it up, although the video did kind of fail in completion of being taped. I'm still interested in knowing if there's something you guys want to see. So, you know, comment below and let me know. But guys, those are some of the things that I've done with the watercolor crayons. And over the last couple of months, I have really enjoyed using them. I think that they would be a wonderful introduction for any young artist who was, for any young artist who was just entering the watercolor field. They offer a lot of control with the pigments when painting with them. So, and then any kid would be already used to using a crayon anyway. So this would just be a natural evolution for them to go from using a regular wax crayon to using a crayon that would be water soluble and they could use to actually spray it as a paint. And that's actually economical for parents as well that's introducing or buying their young artist supplies, because here you have a crayon that's in a stick form that's going to offer your kid control with their painting that turns into a paint when you add water to it. So you kind of get a twofer, as my mom say. So guys, yeah, these are, again, Faber Castell 15 watercolor crayon set. You can pick them up at Michael's. You can pick them up on Amazon. You can pick them up in a lot of different locations. I'm sure you can pick them up at maybe Dick Blick. I doubt you can get them from Jerry's. I'm not too sure. I haven't really looked for them. Maybe you can. Don't quote me on that. And you can get them at some other big box stores, but I'm sure without a doubt you can get them at Michael's or Michaels.com. And let me be the first to say I have no affiliation with Michael's or with Faber Castell. Everything that I'm saying in this video is completely my own opinion of a product that I've enjoyed using and that I would recommend to anyone from beginner to professional artists, because you're going to have fun with them. Kids are going to have a reason to want to continue in watercoloring. It's not a crappy product, so they're not going to get tired of it. They're going to want to use it over and over. Someone on the collegiate level, same thing. And even for artists, I feel like you'll play with them. Again, they're great for mixed media art journaling. So these would be a wonderful product for anyone. So yes, I would definitely recommend Faber Castell's watercolor crayons as a beginner set for anyone. They're very economical and affordable. They have a great name behind them and they perform well. So guys, don't forget, hit me up with comments and questions. Let me know about your experience. Have you used them? Do you have them? Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the upcoming episodes of the Thrifty Review, where we will be taking a look at other watercolor and water soluble products. Yeah, and we will chit chat and talk about those products, and we always aim to keep the products that we review on the Thrifty Review thrifty and at an economical range. So nothing that we suggest will break your pocket at all. So again, don't forget, give thumbs up, like, share. Don't forget to subscribe. Head on over to the Thrifty Apprentice Facebook page. Like us there. Join us there for conversation. Follow there because we post things that happen on and off camera. And we will see you in an upcoming episode of the Thrifter Review. Bye, guys.